For thousands of years, spices have shaped the world in ways far deeper than taste alone. They have inspired epic voyages, fierce battles, international trade routes, cultural exchanges, and the rise and fall of empires. From the fragrant cinnamon trails of ancient Sri Lanka to the bustling spice markets of medieval Arabia, from Portuguese caravels braving unknown oceans to Indian and Indonesian plantations buzzing with life, spices have colored the tapestry of human history with flavor, mystery, and adventure. This is the story of spices, a story of curiosity, courage, greed, glory, and the eternal human desire for flavor. Welcome to Eras Connected, where history comes alive. Step into the past, explore forgotten stories, and uncover the moments that shaped our world. Let's journey through time together. Long before modern kitchens, long before ships coasted across global oceans, humankind had already discovered the power of spices. Over 4,000 years ago, civilizations in Asia and the Middle East were using spices not only to season food, but also for medicine, rituals, and preservation. The earliest records show ancient Egyptians used cinnamon and cassia in embalming and worship ceremonies. Chinese medicinal text from 2700 BCE mentioned ginger as a healing root. Indian Ayurvedic scriptures celebrated turmeric, black pepper, and cardamom for both taste and health. In early societies, spices were more than culinary tools. They were symbols of status, spirituality, and knowledge. A pinch of certain spices could cure sickness, bless rituals, or signify wealth. A single bag of peppercorns could buy a year's salary. If gold built thrones, spices opened kingdoms. India has always been at the core of spice history. For thousands of years, Indian fields and forests produced treasures that mesmerized the world. Black pepper, the king of spices; cardamom, the queen of spices; turmeric, revered for healing; ginger, the warming spice of trade routes. Cinnamon and clove were introduced through early maritime exchange. Ancient Indian traders sailed to Southeast Asia, Arabia, and Africa, using the monsoon winds long before Europeans understood ocean patterns. Harbors like Calicut, Muziris, and Bharuch became legendary spice ports. To the world, India was not just a land. It was the dream of aromatics, a place where flavor was born. While India ruled flavor across the seas, China created its own spice legacy on land. Chinese dynasties cultivated and traded star anise, Sichuan peppercorn, cinnamon, ginger, and galangal. The Silk Road, the world's most famous trade route, connected China to Central Asia, Persia, and the Mediterranean. Silk traveled west, while exotic herbs, saffron, and aromatics traveled east. Tea and spices became cultural ambassadors, carrying Chinese influence across borders long before passports existed. For centuries, Arab traders acted as middlemen between Asian producers and European buyers. They dominated land and sea spice routes, especially through cities like Baghdad, Alexandria, Aden, and Muscat. They brought pepper and cinnamon from India, cloves and nutmeg from Indonesia, and rare resins from Arabia itself. Arab merchants also protected their trade secrets fiercely. They spun tales of magical cinnamon birds and clove-guarding serpents to discourage competition. In truth, they simply didn't want the world to know where the spices came from, because knowledge was power. By the Middle Ages, Europe was obsessed with spices. Pepper, cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg transformed bland winter diets and preserved meat. But spices were expensive, sometimes more precious than gold. European aristocracy displayed spices like jewels. To sprinkle pepper at a feast was to announce wealth. Cloves were sewn into gold pouches as gifts. Nutmeg could buy property. Yet Europe had one great problem. They did not know where spices came from. Arab and Venetian traders kept the supply mystery alive and profited handsomely. But eventually, curiosity turned into ambition, and ambition into exploration. When European kingdoms grew desperate for direct spice access, they funded voyages into unknown waters. Portugal's bold claim. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached India via the Cape of Good Hope. Portugal soon controlled Indian spice ports, then pushed toward Malacca to reach the fabled Spice Islands, the Moluccas of Indonesia, where nutmeg, cloves, and mace were born. Spain's global gamble. Not to be outdone, Spain financed voyages west. In 1522, Magellan's expedition became the first to circumnavigate the globe for spices. The world map changed forever. Oceans connected civilizations, empires sought spice lands, explorers became legends. Spices didn't just flavor food, they shrunk the world. The tiny Indonesian islands of Ternate, Tidore, Banda, and Ambon once held a monopoly on nutmeg, cloves, and mace. These islands were so valuable that wars erupted over them. The Portuguese fought the local sultanates. The Dutch ousted the Portuguese. The English challenged the Dutch. Fortresses rose among palm forests. In a bizarre moment of history, the Dutch traded Manhattan Island to the British in exchange for a nutmeg-rich island called Run. The fate of New York and the world shifted because of a spice. While searching for Asian spices, Europeans accidentally discovered the Americas and found new flavors: chili peppers, vanilla, allspice, paprika, and cocoa. Chili pepper alone traveled faster than any army. Within decades, Indian curries, Chinese Sichuan dishes, Turkish kebabs, and African stews embraced chili as though it had always belonged. Spices had now become global travelers, weaving continents together. The spice legacy is rich, but also painful. Colonial empires built fortunes on Asian and African spice lands, often through violence and exploitation. Farmers became forced laborers, local kings were dethroned. Economies changed forever. Spices, once symbols of healing and celebration, became tied to empire building. Yet even across hardship, spices remained symbols of cultural pride, preserved in kitchens, rituals, and traditions. Today, spices are everywhere, in supermarkets, kitchens, coffee shops, and herbal pharmacies. Once rare, they are now everyday essentials. India's masalas, Chinese five-spice, Middle Eastern za'atar, African berbere, and Latin American chili mixes bring centuries of heritage into modern meals. We cook with memories of explorers, grandmothers, ancient healers, and forgotten farmers. We season food with stories. And while airplanes have replaced caravans and digital markets replaced ancient bazaars, one truth remains: spices still unite the world in flavor and wonder. The story of spices is the story of humanity's desire, not just to eat, but to discover, connect, and transform life through taste. Spices turned food into art, trade into exploration, islands into empires, kitchens into history books. When we sprinkle pepper, crush ginger, stir cinnamon into tea, or grate nutmeg into sauce, we are not just cooking, we are participating in a 4,000-year-old adventure. Every bite carries the memory of oceans crossed, mountains climbed, markets crowded, and civilizations linked by aroma and imagination. Spices are not just ingredients, they are the flavor of history.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Aras Connected, where history comes alive. Your support helps us uncover more incredible stories from the past. See you in the next video.